morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I might be working on or have worked on in the past, and a little bit of life thrown in. So today is Sunday. It's March 22nd, and this is my FlossTube number 37. So, life update usually comes first in my videos, and I guess we kind of have a lot to talk about as far as life update because here we are in the middle of this whole coronavirus pandemic situation. So I live in Southern California. California this past week was put on a stay-in-place order, meaning that you are not supposed to leave your house to go to work unless you're part of an essential business, and you can go to the grocery store and you can go walk your dog and you can go outside and exercise, stay 6 feet away from other people, but unless it's one of those types of situations, you're not supposed to leave your house, you're not supposed to go visit friends, you're not supposed to go visit family, you're supposed to stay at home. I do work in what is considered an essential business. I work for a financial planner, as I've mentioned before, so financial services industries are supposed to stay open, insurance industries, etc., because we have clients that, you know, they have money that's invested with companies where my boss is the agent. It's not invested with us, but, you know, and they need access to that money. They need questions answered about that money, so we do need to stay open. This past week, you may or may not be aware, the stock market took a dive like it hasn't taken in long time, 12 years. So it was not a fun place to be at my office. My boss is incredibly stressed out. He has to field a lot of, you know, panicky calls from clients, you know, and basically has to reassure them because, you know, the stock market goes down, it comes back up. But, you know, he did need to talk to them about that. It was funny, when I was leaving work Friday, he was like, "You want to switch jobs with me?" I'm like, no. There's only 3 people in our office. There's my boss, and his sister is kind of like the office manager. She does all of the payroll and accounts payable and stuff, and then I do all the customer service stuff. We also are in a live-work office, so it's actually a three-floor building, and, you know, in a multi-unit kind of thing, but we're 3 floors. The bottom floor is kind of like a conference room where he meets with clients, and then the second floor is supposed to be like the living space of this apartment, but that is where our offices are, and then the 3rd floor is bedrooms, and he and his wife and daughter do have bedrooms up there, and then there's a kitchen, obviously, that is a kitchen. So I only ever have contact with 5 people on a regular basis, or 4 other people, and then clients if they come in, which they don't come in all the time, and we're not going to have clients come in right now. We did have a client come in Friday who was scheduled to come in before all of this stay-in-place order came in. But I didn't have any contact with her. My boss did. We are always at least 6 feet apart. I mean, our desks are nowhere near each other. We have talked about trying to do a work from home kind of thing. I think it'd be really difficult for me to do that just because of the type of job that I do. I mean, I could, you know, answering the phones is one thing, and I mean, I guess phones could be forwarded, but I do paperwork for people that I either need to mail to them or email. I don't have a printer at home. So, you know, it would be difficult for me to do my job. We've also talked about maybe, because there's 3 floors, maybe separating, and I'll stay on the middle floor, and, you know, somebody else would be on the bottom floor, and my boss would be, you know, on the top floor answering questions and stuff, just basically using a phone and a laptop. And we've also talked about maybe staggering, like only one of us in the office at a time. But for right now, we're all healthy. You know, I mean, if any of us got a fever or something like that, obviously we'd stay home. But so for now, I think we're going to try and just keep doing things as we've been doing them, just using a lot of precautions, a lot of hand washing, and of course keeping our distance from each other, etc. It feels weird to go to work. I almost feel like a criminal, but you know, I mean, fast food, the drive-thrus are still open, so people are still out in the world. It's not that much of a ghost town, but yeah, it is weird to still be going to work when everybody's talking about staying at home. And I have very mixed feelings about it. I mean, in one way, I'm glad to have my job and to be doing what is needed to help people. Okay, my TV is doing stuff in the background here. Nope, that's not even gonna work. All right, well, if you see flashing over there, that's what it is. I'm seeing it, it's distracting me, so hopefully it's not distracting you too much. What was I? So I'm happy to be having a job. I would like to have a few days at home. I mean, I know people who are at home are working from home, but it is different to be at home. I would like to be working from home in my pajamas, but you know, it is what it is, kind of thing. Right now, things are gonna stay status quo as far as the work situation, and that is what is needed. So my family, my mom, as I said last week, they started kind of like ask for no visitors, and then right after that they almost like went on lockdown. It's like not just no visitors are allowed in. Nobody's allowed in. They're checking temperatures at the door of anybody that works there, and then anybody else who doesn't work there is turned away. And they also closed like the dining room, and they stopped any activities, you know, so nobody's gathering at all. Everybody's kind of staying in the rooms. My mom says it's incredibly boring. You know, I mean, again, it's not that much different from regular daily life, but, you know, you kind of know it's different, so it feels very different. And then my brother and his family, he's working from home, and his wife already worked from home and already homeschooled the kids. So for them, it's not that much different. My brother already worked at home like a couple days a week, usually anyway, but now his office is, business is still open, but the office is closed, and everybody's working from home. And he's the one who's venturing out to go to the store and stuff. They are having a little bit of difficulty because, you know, they're a family of 5, so things like toilet paper are necessary, and they didn't stockpile before, so when all this hit, you know, and he went to go try and get their regular paper supplies, that was when it was impossible to get it. So, so he is ending up actually having to go to the grocery store a lot more because he's going like first thing in the morning when they open, so he can be first in line, so he can get the stuff that's needed, etc. I'm pretty well stocked up. I happened to buy a big package of toilet paper like a week, 2 weeks before all this stuff started happening, so I had it already. So on that way, I'm fine. Last week I ordered some dry goods, you know, canned soup and stuff like that from Target. There was limited amounts, but I was able to get, you know, a cart full of supplies, and those have been trickling in over the week. So my intention is not to go to the store at all. Although yesterday I did venture out to an Aldi because I had ordered last week, I had ordered a yogurt maker, which really has nothing to do with the whole health situation in the world, but I'm trying really hard to save money and to be a little bit healthier with, you know, what I'm eating, to eat more stuff from home. And I'm pretty good about bringing lunch and eating dinner at home. I do pick up stuff on the way home sometimes, but breakfast is really bad for me because I don't have the time or energy in the morning to make anything. I mean, even putting toast in is like time that I feel like I need to get out the door. Even though if I stop at a drive-thru that's still eating up time, I'm still out. I feel like I got out of the house. But I do really like yogurt, and I thought but yogurt's expensive in the store, and then, you know, I don't want to go to the store all the time. Even without the whole pandemic thing, I do not like going to the grocery store any more than I have to. So it's not something that you can like really stock up on because, you know, it spoils. And I thought about getting a yogurt maker for a long time. My mom used to make yogurt when I was a kid, and I remember it being kind of cool and neat. And so this yogurt maker was on sale from Kohl's, and so I got that.
and it arrived yesterday. Of course, to make yogurt, you need milk, and you need yogurt to as a starter. So I decided, okay, I'll go out to the store, see if I can get some milk. I was out of like just, butter and bread. So I just needed like a few staples, like 5 or 6 things. So I decided to go to this Aldi's. I was very surprised. I thought it would be crowded crazy. It was not. There were very few people in there, possibly because I went in the afternoon and the crazy time is in the morning when things open. And they had everything that I needed. Now, I mean, their shelves were empty a lot. There was nothing in the tissue toilet paper area, but they had all kinds of fruit. I didn't go over there, but it looked like their meat was, they had meat. They had, crackers and cookies. I mean, not a huge amount, not a huge selection, but they did have it. There was a little, like, this much of a shelf that had, like, canned soups and stuff, so I did get 1 can of clam chowder. Yeah, so I was able to get everything I needed, and that was my big venture to the grocery store, and I think that I'm pretty set now. I could, like, stay in my apartment for a month and have everything that I needed. I still have that feeling that, I'm sure you guys understand this, I'm sure you're going through it too, where it's like this need to get stuff. Like, and I think that that's because when we're in a situation that we can't control, we want to do something proactive. And the idea that, well, if I need to get soup, or I need to get toilet paper, or I need to get whatever, I think that's where that comes from, is this idea that I might not be able to get it next week, so I need to get it now, even though I have, plenty of it on my shelf already. But I think it's part of that desire to be able to do something. So I'm having that, I'm fighting it. I don't have the money to go out and buy a bunch of stuff, and I mean, that situation is going to be even worse now because, things are going to get tight just in the world. So anyway, so I've been talking for 12 minutes, haven't shown you a bit of cross stitch, but I just wanted to like touch base with you guys, with all of my, virtual friends here who tune in every week. I hope you guys are all safe and happy. I know not everybody is under a stay-in-place order. Everybody's been asked to kind of do social distancing, and some states are doing more than other states at this point. Some countries are having more or less situations with this. But California is being pretty strict. It's kind of bad. Not so much in Southern California where I am, but Northern California was hit really hard. Southern California, it's starting. So, I'm glad that the governor is being proactive about it. And, it might be scary, but hopefully we can nip this in the bud and not have as much devastation as they've had in like Italy and China and stuff. But okay, so let's stop talking about the pandemic and get on to cross stitch, which is a much cheerier subject. I don't have any kind of Etsy update for you guys. I still feel like I'm kind of living in chaos. I've been putting stuff back into my kitchen slowly. I'm just really afraid I'm gonna have to pull it out again. But who knows what's happening with, the pandemic, if that's gonna be put on hold and I'll just, have another infestation or what. But, I'm still a little bit chaotic around here. Slowly I'm putting stuff away, but I'm really not killing myself. I just don't have the mental energy to worry about that kind of stuff. So I'm doing a little bit at a time. But, yeah, so, Etsy will happen when it happens. And I will let you guys know every step of the way. I don't have any new starts or finishes this week either, but I did touch quite a few whips, so that's what I'm going to be able to show you. So let's see, I worked on Spring Fling a little bit this week. And stitching was like, I haven't lost my stitchy bug, but I've just been, as I've been saying, I've been a little bit just exhausted when I get home, and part of it I just think is mental. Okay. There we go. Oops. I got a needle and thread hanging here, so let me make sure that doesn't fall. I did a little bit more on the bunny head right here, and this ear, and then I started working on this flower, and that leaf is kind of in process too. So this is on a 25 count Lugana 2/2. I worked on Floss Embroideries Autumn Cat, and I am doing this in honor of Erin, the Two Martini Sisters' birthday Sal, lucky birthday Sal. This is a free pattern, and it was when I got it. I think it still is on the Floss Embroidery site, and I'm doing it not with the called for anything. I decided to kind of go bold on this, and I am doing it on a bright red hardanger, and I'm using some variegated flosses by Necessities. I'm using this variegated floss, very variegated floss for the cat, and yeah, so I mean, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure yet if I'm loving this or if I'm not. I mean, the variegation, I love the way it looks, but I don't know if it necessarily lends itself. But it's okay. I'm enjoying stitching it, and we'll see when it gets done. If it turns out that it was like, well, maybe that wasn't a great choice. You know, I can't win them all. And I like being bold in my choices. You know, that's part of my personality, is to maybe not follow the path that is put down there for me. You know, I mean, cross stitching, being adventurous in cross stitching is not. I don't want to say it's not adventurous. It is being adventurous in cross stitching, but it's probably a safe way to be adventurous. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I worked on Gathering Honey, which is my sal that I started for February, Be My Own Valentine sal. And this is the blue flower. I just love this pattern. And I'm starting to really love a lot of her patterns. Not everything, but you'll see when I get to haul, because I did order a few blue flowers. Okay, so I finished the beehive and the little bee on top of it. And I worked some more on the little lady. I got her legs and feet, and I worked more on the dress. And this is like not called for colors. They're some of them are close, you know, substitutions that are close. I think it's all pretty much general art, maybe a few needle necessities. The only things I really changed is I'm changing the color of the dress, and I'm changing the color of the lady's hair. But other than that, everything is kind of a close match to what's called for, if it's not exactly. Oops, I keep forgetting to put my patterns back in the bag. I'm a little scattered. Sorry. And, okay, that one too, but, all right. And then, let's see. Oh, I worked on Year Celebrations. May. Okay. There we go. I did change this to Bloom, as I said I was going to. It's charted as Basket. And I'm going to be able to add, there's like butterflies on this. So there's like a butterfly there, and I think the butterflies are over here. I'm not sure, but I'm going to be able to add another butterfly, like going this way, because the bloom is shorter. And last but not least, I worked on the Stitching with Sisterly Sal on Suffragette. And I just worked on the words on this, so I went from just ED, so I got not much more done. So I find the words not the most fun part, I guess, so I sometimes leave those too long, and then, you know, then you're stuck with the not fun part, so I figured I better get those done, and then I can go back and finish the dress and the plant, because the dress and the plant will be fun. So, okay, I think that's, oh, no, I have one more whip. How could I forget this? I worked on this all day yesterday. So I put in over 400 stitches yesterday on lavender roses. Let me show you the picture. This is a Heaven North Designs. The artwork is by Carrie Hawks. Okay, so all of this is new. So I'm not more than halfway done. I'm almost halfway done stitch-wise with this. It's gonna go over to about there. That's how long it will be when I turn the corner. So I've already turned the corner at the bottom. So I'll be turning the corner at the top in like 2.5 diagonals. And then it'll get, like, I guess, diagonals will get quicker again because they'll be shorter. So I'm still not sure if I'm going to hit the nose colors on this diagonal. I'm kind of excited to, like, hit, like, the pinky orange colors. So, you know, I've been working on green sections and lavender sections and tan sections and then black, and I will be excited to hit the nose, which is all pinks and oranges and stuff like that. Okay, so that was all my whips for this week. And I do have a little bit of haul to show you. I think that's going to end. I mean, I keep saying that and then I come up with stuff anyway because I do, you know, sometimes indulge in eBay purchases or whatever. But, you know, as I said, you know, money's tight. So I'll still be able to show Stitchy kindness, stuff like that. You know, but I don't think there'll be a lot of haul. Not that there has been lately. But this week I actually did get a few things, and it was actually good because I was kind of feeling down this week, and I got like 3 different surprises over the course of the week, and so that was really nice. So I got the patterns that I ordered from 123 Stitch. I had ordered 2 things that were market releases, and then 2 things because of one of the market releases I ordered. I felt like it wasn't a standalone pattern. I wanted it to be a set. So the first thing I got was Michelle Garrett Bendy Stitchy Designs Hildy Strawberry Patch. I have the Hildy, the original Hildy, the Halloween one. So I was really excited when she said that she was going to have different adventures for Hildy. So I didn't get the next one because it was very Christmas. I might eventually get it, maybe, and just cut out the tree. I don't know, because she and Brian are cute. Maybe I could turn it into, you know, some kind of heart thing. I don't know. But this one is adorable, so I will be happy to stitch that. And then the blue flower. So Summer Squirrel was the new market pattern, and I'm not really been drawn to squirrel patterns. I'm not, you know, I love squirrels in real life. I don't live, I mean, there are squirrels when you go to like parks around here. But there's no squirrels like that live, you know, like my friend Tracy, who lives in Pittsburgh, has a backyard where she has squirrels and chipmunks and birds, and it sounds like, you know, Snow White's wishing well in her backyard. It sounds wonderful. I don't have that. I don't have a backyard. I don't have a patio. I have me and I have Baggy. He's my wildlife. But I haven't been like super drawn to squirrel patterns, but for some reason I started looking at the blue flower patterns, and these squirrels, I really like the ones where there's like a baby. So this is the summer squirrel with the yellow bicycle cart thing, and I really liked that one. So I went ahead and got that. And then I was looking at other patterns because I thought it would be nice to have maybe 4 of them for the 4 seasons. So she does have autumn, spring. I mean, this is summer. She has autumn, spring, and winter. I didn't really like the winter one. Again, it was kind of Christmassy. And the autumn one was okay, but I actually liked the Halloween one better. So I got that for autumn. Because, again, the little one who's dressed up, and yeah, this is just so cute. And then I did like the spring. So this is, there's no little one, but he's wearing overalls. So, so I'll have to keep looking as she comes. I'm just, you know, I'm sure she'll come out maybe with more squirrel ones, and maybe I can find one that will work for a wintry one. If not, I can get something else, and, you know, we'll see. But anyway, so those are the 4 patterns that I got from 123 Stitch. I also got, I told you I kind of fell into an eBay trap where I paid a little bit more than I felt like I should. I still paid less than retail, okay, so let me put it that way. So retail on Gentle Art flosses is what, $2.19 on 123 Stitch, plus the shipping of $3 something. So if I had bought these 35, you know, it would have been close to $80, and I didn't pay anywhere near that. I paid way less than half of that. So I still got a good price, but I still feel like I paid a little bit more than I should have. Anyway, so I don't know if I should show you, but anyway, I got 35. I don't think I need to show you each one. But I got 35 Gentle Art sampler threads. Some of them I had, which is interesting because it's always interesting to me to when you get 2 of the same thread color from an overdyed company, that they don't always look the same at all. Even when you get them like at the same time from like 123 Stitch, sometimes they come out, they look kind of different, which is interesting because like when you're kitting something up, you know, it may not look right, you know, from the picture because they're different, especially ones that are really, really variegated. That happens a lot. But I got a lot of colors here that I didn't have, a few that I already had, but a lot that I didn't have, and I'm really looking forward to organizing these and putting them in alphabetical order today. I have 2 rings, and I actually may need to get a 3rd ring just because now it's getting clunky. These are my Gentle Art things, and I have them in alphabetical order. So I get to add these today, which is kind of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, so that's what was an eBay haul. And I really like the Gentle Art. So I was excited about that coming in. And then the other thing that I got this week, this was kind of, I would say, Stitchy kindness, because I had mentioned in, I think it was my extra video where I was showing all of my stash, and I showed this pattern book that I got that I said I didn't really love it. It was like very 80s sort of Little People, and I got it because it was the only thing I could find that had cheerleader. And my niece's cheerleader. I don't have any plans to make something for her, but it was something that, you know, I kind of wanted to have in my stash. And one of my viewers, her name is Jolene, she messaged me and she said that she had created a pattern for a friend of hers for that very reason. She couldn't find anything that had anything to do with cheer. So she very kindly sent it to me, And so this is more of a picture. This isn't the chart, but it says my heart beats in 8 counts. And it's the 3 bases in the flyer. My niece is sometimes a flyer, sometimes a base, depending on the team that she's on. And I thought that this was really cute. And just, you know, I really love that she did this. Now, she sent this to me. If anybody's interested in this pattern, I have no idea if she wants to sell it to people or wants to give it away. I don't know. If you're interested in it, though, you know, put a comment below, and Jolene, you know, look and see if, you know, and if anybody wants it, then maybe she can sell it to you, or maybe she can send it to you. I don't know. But, you know, you guys can connect through the comments. And her name is Jolene, and she created this pattern on Stitch Fiddle. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so plans for coming up. I did kit up Clementine. I'm gonna do a Sal with Lisa from Forest City Stitching. It's her birthday in April. When she first contacted me about this, I had showed this pattern when I got it, and she's like, I have that, do you want to sell it? And we were trying to figure out when to do it. And I was like, when's your birthday? And she said April. I'm like, that's great. I don't have anything else planned, you know, for that. No other sales or whatever planned. So that's why we decided to do it in April. It's for Lisa's birthday, Clementine. And it's charted in Classic Colorworks, but of course I tend to do it in Gentle Arts because that's what I have. So again, I picked colors that I felt were comparable to the colors. And then I pulled this piece of fabric, and I'm not 100% sure I want to use this. I think it's a beautiful piece of fabric. I don't know. I'm not 100% sold. This is supposed to be sort of an autumn pattern. I didn't even realize when I was looking at it, but the white thing that he's sitting on, or she's sitting on, I guess Clementine is the girl's name, is a white pumpkin. Where did I pull white? I think I pulled this color, buttermilk. So it's gonna be a buttermilk pumpkin. So I don't know if this fabric is a little too springy. I might want to do something that's a little bit more moody, more gray blue, or gray and green. I don't know. So I have my flosses pulled. This is a possible piece of fabric. But I think I'm going to maybe dye a couple pieces of fabric today or this week. I also want to dye a piece of fabric for Night Walk Down. I did pull the flosses for that as well. But that's not going to be till August. But I do need to dye a piece of fabric. And I think I want to make a couple, 2 or 3 options that I can pick from. You know, if they all are pretty, then that's good. I can use them on other stuff. But I think I want some choices with Night Walk Down. And since the way I dye, it's kind of, it's always a surprise. Like, I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. I do want a couple choices, so then I can pick the one that I think speaks the best to that pattern. So I think that that's it today. I'm planning on stitching some more today, relaxing, gearing up for the week, possibly trying to make yogurt in my new yogurt maker. I'll see how that works. It doesn't look too hard. You just need to heat the milk, add either a yogurt starter or some actual yogurt. You put it in the jars that come with the machine. You put it in the machine, plug it in, turn it on, and let it sit for like 8 to 10 hours, I guess. And then you have to put it in the refrigerator, and then it's yogurt. And then you can add flavorings to it, sweeteners and whatever. It says you can do that before you make it too. Like, you could put the fruit and whatever in the milk mix and make it that way. But I think I'm just going to do plain to start with, because I also like plain yogurt as like a substitute for sour cream. And I also like it savory, where I'll eat it, but I'll mix in like salsa or like a little garlic powder or whatever, almost as like a dip, I guess, with crackers or something. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna just do the plain to start with, and just do, you know, add fruit or jam or honey or whatever after it's done. So those are my plans for today. I hope everybody stay safe, wash your hands, stay away from other people, you know, all of the social distancing rules, and everybody stay safe and be well. And always remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Have a great week, you guys.